Everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and today we're talking Suomi again. So, I have played the game a lot more since I first made a video going over Suomi and her kit, and I'm basically going to offer a recommendation. First, we got to preface this, okay? Step one, number one, this is a gacha game, okay? It is very feasible that you should spend $0 in this game forever, or a couple dollars a month if you get value out of it. Never spend outside of your means. This is purely for entertainment. Do not spend money on dumb mobile games just because you feel this sense of FOMO. It's not worth it. There'll be another game and you'll play that one. You'll have fun with that one. All right, so that I just like saying that out of the way first. Don't spend outside of your means. But let's talk about Suomi here. I'm gonna recommend, honestly, that people go for her dupe, basically. So normally I don't recommend going for multiple copies of a character. However, her first dupe is so powerful and it's so insane that I actually think it's like account warpingly powerful. So I'm pretty much gonna recommend everyone actually goes for it. We'll take a look at a couple things, and look at the character itself, so we have stuff to talk about. But if just a TLDR here, that way if you just want to click off and go home, I do think you should go for the one copy of the first copy of Suomi and then get a second copy. I would say getting 2 copies of Suomi over getting 1 copy of her and Ulrid. I think Ulrid is cool, but absolutely skippable. And you should probably go for 2 copies of this unit instead, as she is insane. And essentially, this is just a DPS character with some cool, fun stuff. But at the end of the day, like, there's a lot of characters that get DPS. And there's only one character that does what she does right now, and it is her. So let's take a look actually at the kit. Why do I recommend it? Why is it so strong? Sorry if I'm a little bit quiet. It is almost 3 a.m. here. I was playing Path of Exile 2, and so I kept pushing off making today's video. Man, I'm in love with that game. Okay, so here's Suomi. So just to kind of quickly go over her kit, there's a lot of text. A lot of the stuff has big text boxes, but kind of just to wrap it up, she gains energy every turn. And if a character doesn't say they gain energy, there's not like a mechanic that everyone gains 1 at the end of the turn, I don't think. She also heals targets around her at the end of her turn, and then when other characters use attacks, she could do avalanche on them. Once avalanche gets to 5 stacks, they take 8 stability damage, and then she could follow up attack, apply critical damage. It's a lot of stuff, and she gains sprint. Like, this is a lot of stuff. Basically what she does is she regenerates energy, she does a small heal to her allies, and her follow-up attacks, she will provide follow-up attacks when allies do single target attacks around her. And those attacks also will slowly stack up additional stability damage. And then she does a buff on top of it. That's just her passive. That's like a lot of shit just on her passive. But it's really not that complex of a passive. It is just a lot of abilities in one. Normal attack is normal attack. Rinter's Wrath is her worst ability probably, but it is very good still. She doesn't have any bad abilities. Freeze damage equal to 100% of attack. You can't crit with this, which is fine. But then you additionally deal fixed damage equal to 50% of your defense. And then for each allied unit within 6 tiles, increases stability damage by 1 point. I still can't tell if this is like within range of you or within range of the enemy, but I think it's within range of you. But yeah, basically this can do up to, instead of 4, it could do 4, 5, 6, 7. It could do 7 stability. It's like a good ability. It's fine. You could use it every other turn. It's not busted at all, but it is still like pretty reasonable. It is a way to get freeze damage exploits going off there. And also, if causes stability break, increased fixed damage to 125% of defense. So if the first half breaks them, and then that second half actually does this becomes a pretty good damage ability. Still not insane, but it is good. Also, what the hell is this? Yeah, there's something going on. Look at this. This is the skin enabled. Looks like we're bugged, boys. We're bugged. Oh, there we go. Okay. This other ability is a single target heal / barrier. It's mostly barrier. It does heal, right? Or is it literally just a big ass barrier? Okay, yeah. You do 130% barrier for 2 turns, and then they get defensive support, which increases their defense. It's just a good buff ability, basically. And then they get defensive support, which, like I just said, increases defense based on the number of enemies surrounding them. So it is a pretty good defensive ability. Maybe this is her worst ability. It's still not bad at all. But it definitely doesn't seem like busted. It's definitely the one that I use the least. Especially because of constant energy, but sometimes when you need to keep someone alive, this is a good ability. And now her ultimate is the most ulti of all ultimates. It basically is just insane. I've never even, it costs 5, which sounds like it should balance it, but I've never not had 5 when this ability comes up. I don't feel like I mean, I guess maybe I don't use it every turn, but like every other turn or every couple turns, it's like super. So what does this ability do, and why is it so strong? And why this is basically this is an insane ability, and her fortification, her first one, is going to make this even better. I can't even see what it is without this stuff, basically. Maybe this will show me. Fixed damage to all enemies within 3 tiles. I don't like the way they're reading. You select the tile. Within 6 tiles, it does damage to all enemies within 3 tiles of that, and it does 3 stacks of avalanche. Avalanche, again, and once it gets to 5 stacks, it does 8 stability damage. So if they already have a couple stacks of avalanche because you've been doing your stacks, then this will also do the 8. This doesn't do any stability damage normally, and it's kind of weird. This doesn't count as like attacking. This is like a tile changing thing. Like there's enemies that can be revealed when they're invisible. This won't reveal them, so it doesn't really count as like an attack. But it could do some stability damage sometimes as well. Then this is what they add here: adding HP and recovers stability and cleanses debuff and removes taunt. Like, it's actually hard to remember because of the way they combine all these abilities. But it becomes a huge heal, a bunch of stability, removes the taunt, adds frost barrier to all allies no matter where they are on the map. You get the wintry bastion, which you get 30% less damage taken the first time, on top of having a massive barrier. And the barrier does 100% of her attack. Sorry. If an ally is at full HP before being healed, so if they're already at full HP, it's still going to give them a stack of shelter and continuous healing. It also generates frost tiles, and the frost tiles will slow the movement of enemies, and it will cause them to eventually freeze, and it causes them to be weak to freeze. It's like this ult does everything. This ult is insane, but most people know that. So the reason why she's so good is if you look at segment 1 here, increase the number of avalanche stacks by 1 is kind of like, I don't even know why they put that in here. It doesn't matter, but it is, it's still good. But the recover 30% HP of, 30% of her HP to all the allies, and restores 4 stability index to all units excluding self, and you gain an additional stack of this, so now it's even harder to kill people. And if they're already at full HP, they get shelter and continuous healing. I mean, this turns already one of the best abilities in the game into absolutely bonkers powerful. This is the only AoE heal. It's also the only I think AoE stability recovery. It's the only way to get 3 stacks of avalanche. It's the only way to get multiple stacks of wintry bastion, which is just flat damage reduction to all your characters. And even if they're full HP, they still get shelter, they still get continuous healing, which is 10% of their HP at the end of their action for 3 turns. And this could be used every turn if you had some way to get more energy, basically, right? Because it passively costs 5, so you would need a little bit of regeneration. But it's just, this is so strong. It actually just kind of breaks the game. So I would recommend not getting this if you want the game to be harder. However, even as a free-to-play, I would say spend your currency to get the dupe of this. I don't think they're going to power creep this ability for a long time. You're going to want this character in your party always. I mean, even in PvP, in which maybe she's not the best unit in PvP, who knows? Like, just being able to open up and just have all your characters have shelter, have wintry bastion, even if you don't deal the damage, you just give them these effects and you give them the massive shield. Like, it's bonkers. It's like doubling the HP of all your units. It's actually just too strong. It kind of trivializes all the fights, but I actually think that is part of the why you should do it, especially as you're free to play. You need every edge you can get, all right, especially as free to play, and whales are going to have it anyway. So I really think this is an all players should get kind of thing. So Suomi is insanely busted already. She just has tons of good skills. This ability is insane. This ability is great. This ability is great. Her ultimate or her passive is like just 100 things in one. That's all very good. But really, this fortification is nuts. So if we take a look here, I guess if we take a look at the recruitment, right, the way the pity works, basically after 80 pulls, you have a 50-50 to get her. And in the next 80 pulls, if you failed the 50-50, you have a guarantee. So when you don't get the unit in a 50-50, the next time you get any legendary, it will be that unit. And then it's like, if you do get the unit, it resets and it goes back to a 50-50, right? So overall, sorry. Oh my goodness. I need to start recording videos at 3 a.m., bro. Oh my God. I thought I don't feel tired, but my body must know. So it does take a lot of currency, but you have a lot of currency. Normally, I would never recommend doing this, especially for free-to-play players. But if you are in this is a new game, so a lot of people have tons of currency, right? Like I just have a bunch of this stuff, 14,000, and I already did a lot of pulls, right? I got 2 copies of her. So a lot of players between all the free pulls and then all the currency will be able to guarantee that you get 2 copies of this. Then I think you start saving a lot, but I really do think that this character is good. And again, I would go as far as to say you just skip Ulrid. Ulrid is a cool character, but not super essential. But like, just to give you an idea of what Suomi could do. I mean, if we look at the event here, just like a quick, not really a flex, right? But like I've completed all these on S. I've completed all these on S. The Wasteland Impact, I've completed all these. I guess that Samoi's really, I use her there too. She's very good there, which is kind of funny. Right, we've done, you can even see 100%, all the events. So all the event is completely done. Even this, the challenge mode, I just did this. This is the level 42 boss character, and I beat it, and it was like kind of close, but like I wasn't playing very optimally, but it didn't even matter because let's see if we can just go in there actually. I'm not going to win the fight right now. I'm not going to just like play it back because I'll probably lose trying to figure it out. And honestly, it'll just take a long time. These kinds of fights could take a while, but let's just actually see her use her ability here. This is the team I used. But this is why this ability is so strong. Yes, we get it. You're a creepy doll. You're a sad doll. Most annoying boss fight in the game, by the way. The ads, the teleporting, the moving around, the invisibility. It's like every mechanic that this boss has is fucking annoying. So again, this ability, just look at all this fucking text. You can't even see it all because my camera's there. And that's, trust me, it's all important text. But like, what is so good is you could use it on turn 1. And even if you use it over here and you don't hit any enemies, it'll still hit your ally all the way over here. And then when you use it, you get a cool animation. I don't have the, I think if you have the swimsuit skin, you get her like trying to have sex with a duck or something. I'm so allegedly, I've heard. All right, so there we go. We use that. Now we come all the way over here to a character not even close, right? She's got shelter, 1 stack. She's got continuous healing. She's got frost barrier. And then she's got wintry bastion. So the next time she would take damage, it's reduced by 30%. And she has a shield that lasts for 3 turns that is equal to, will it even show me how big it is? I mean, you could visually take a look here. Maybe it's like, I don't know, 600, 500, something like that. Oh, 706. Go math. So you can. So everyone got a shield for 706 while also taking less damage. And also, again, this heals them all 30%. This is an AoE heal. It's such an efficient ability. It does damage. It does healing. It does stability healing. It does protection, damage mitigation. It does exploiting weaknesses. It does adding weaknesses. It does so much. This one ability literally could be a character. They could be a character that has an AoE heal and shield regeneration, a add ice weakness and frost tiles exploit, a deal damage, and then a like global, I don't know, something. But like you can have that ability be its own character, break that ability up into 4 abilities. And it's like, this is just how crazy powerful it is. And again, I'm not going to do this fight right now. I already did it earlier. I won. All right. I'm kind of a big deal. Okay. The thing is, you don't even have to build her. Like once you have her, it's like you don't need to put in any fucking effort to making her good. This ability is just good enough on its own. Like, yeah, I have some leveled up stuff, but like the neural helixes aren't. She's maybe the best character on my account, and she's like, all right, neural she's not the best here. She has way less investment in her than other characters. The attachments are just like whatever, and it's because you don't need any of that stuff. I mean, it is still good to get her more HP, right? Because it gives people shield equal to 100%. Like everyone is getting 706, right? So equal to 100% of her initial attack. So if you get her attack higher, I don't know, when it says initial attack, I assume that just means attack before you go into combat. So if you have attachments and stuff, that'll increase her initial attack. But if you give her an attack up buff, that won't count. But it's going to give everyone just this big ass shield, right? It's actually kind of crazy. But yeah, this is an official recommendation to get a second copy of her. Because again, that ability that makes this the most broken ability in the game is literally segment 1. And then her other segments, don't get me wrong, they're all good. Like, you're never going to be like, oh man, I can't believe I got this. This also, this ability also does defense up 2 to all allied units for 3 turns. The number of cleanse debuffs by 2. It also cures fear, infatuated, and stun. Increases HP restored by 50% of her max HP. And it extends the radius of frost by a tile. And the effective shield is enhanced 30%. Like, this is all busted, but it's like, I actually think this is a smaller buff than this one here. This is the biggest buff out of all of her segments, and absolutely is one you should be considering using. Even this ability is like, this is fun, but yeah, this is what you need right here. Grab it and you will never have to be unhappy ever again, because Suomi will be there to hold your hand and make sure that you are happy. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this one. Just kind of wanted to kind of a PSA, kind of let people know that this character is good, but she's probably even better than you think if you're playing this game. That's pretty funny. I do like that. Then she gets mad. Yeah, she's feisty, bro. She's feisty. All right, that's all for this one, guys. Thank you very much for Purplatypus. I'll see you on the flip-flops. Bye! On the rise, watch the views go up. Content king, never down, always show